What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I wanted to go over a very strong Druid build. Druids are very good in this game. They're very good in D&D in general, especially when you go with the good subclass. And we all know what that is. Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon is one of the best subclasses in D&D, at least 5e, and it's very good in this game too. And the reason why it's so good is you get so many powerful animal transformations, for lack of a better way of saying it. And the thing that people don't realize is when you transform into an animal, that HP pool, that is a bonus HP pool. That is not subtracted from your current hit points. So when that animal form is gone and it gets destroyed, it loses all its HP, you still have the hit points in your human form, and as long as you have the charges, which you should, you can actually go right back into another animal form on your human turn. So you can do it twice in a battle if you really had to. So that's a huge hit point buffer if you just want to soak up damage or be in the thick of it doing melee or whatever. It gives you so much opportunity there. It's crazy. So the main thing I want to say is that is one of the best things about the Druid, and playing him as a pure spellcaster, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice if you're not transforming or doing animals. Now, you won't be able to do that to your level 2, and then, you're going to have your spells and stuff, and there's some good ones and bad ones, but at the end of the day, none of these are really that great. When you get access to level 2, I do recommend Moonbeam. Moonbeam is a great one because not only does it deal damage when you cast it on top of an enemy, but when the enemy starts their turn there, they also take the damage. So it's a good way to do a significant amount of damage early on. And then everything else is kind of, it depends, but Spike Growth is also an insanely powerful spell that I highly recommend. You can create choke points with this. You can protect your allies. Basically, you put a spike field on the ground, and anybody that travels at least 1.5 meters on it takes 2 to 8 damage. I can't tell you how many times I've had groups of enemies that have come at me that are all melee and they have to hit me. They have to travel over this, and I've either killed them or taken away the majority of their life by the time they get to me, and it's disadvantage. So if you do attack them with range or anything while they're on that, because they're on, difficult terrain, you're going to have the ability to hit them so much easier and do so much more damage. So these are the 2 spells that I highly recommend. Level 1, you can kind of pick and choose what you like. I mean, there's nothing too amazing. Fog Cloud can be good utility. Fairy Fire is nice to help you hit stuff. But these aren't that great, but this is where it starts to shine. So we get to level 4, and we get our extra cantrip, and this is where things get good. We get our new wild shapes, Dire Raven and Deep Growth. Deep Growth is pretty good. You're like a bull. You can do a charge attack that's really nice. So it's decent, but staying with the bear is probably the best way to go for now. Bear is so good. Bear form is so good. And, you pick a second cantrip, whatever you desire. Now we get our feats. I recommend ability improvement just to start out because you can't go wrong with it. If you're undecided, do ability improvement. It'll help you so much. So that's what I recommend getting early on. And putting it into your primary stat, keeping it even so you get the bonuses. Now we get Wild Strike. You can make an additional attack while shape-shifted, while using Wild Shape, while you're transformed. And then we get access to our Tier 3 spells. Now, Level 3 is pretty nice. Call Lightning is very good. It's probably the main one you're going to want to use. It's a good Lightning AoE that does significant damage. Other ones are alright, but I would highly recommend sticking with that one if you're going to pick up a new one. And then we get to Level 5. Well, Level 6. And now we get another subclass creature, or feature. Primal Strike. While in beast forms, your attacks count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks. And this is a huge power spike. So you're not going to hit level 6 till you'll get to about Act 2. Pretty much Act 2 is when you're going to hit level 6. And we get our Owlbear. Owlbear is so good. It is better than bear form, no matter what. It has more hit points. It has more options. And it's just good. Owlbear is amazing. It is phenomenal. And you should use it all the time. No questions asked. You should always use Owlbear. Now we get up to 7. Now we get our level 4 spells. And level 4 is also very good. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Wall of Fire is decent. You know, we got Ice Storm, which is also pretty decent. Dominate Beast, Confusion. You know, I personally would go with Conjure Woodland Being. This will allow you to summon a Druid. This Druid can also summon the Woodwoads. They can summon Woodwoads. So not only will you have a Druid in your team, you'll have a Woodwoad. So now you've just made your party from 4 to 6. And the Woodwoad's a little tanky, can take some hits, he's melee. The Druid, they don't really have a lot of attacks and stuff, but they're a body. And this is a great complement to your team. Or you could go Minor Elemental. I would pick one of these, no matter what, 100% of the way. And finally, like my other guides, this one only goes up to level 8. I just want to cover, you know, the early to mid game for you. And all we're going to get is another feat. We do get our Saber-Toothed Tiger one, which is also pretty nice, with Shred and can regenerate hit points. But I personally still stick with Owlbear. But if you want to switch over to Saber-Toothed Tiger, it's not a bad choice. It's still good. It's more offensive focused. And, you know, it is nice to have the Shred armor and regenerate hit points. Definitely helps you in tougher battles. Now, for your feat, you have a lot of choices, you know, and it's kind of what you want your Druid to be. But I recommend, if you're going to be doing a lot of concentration spells like Moonbeam or the Spikes on the Ground, or there's a couple other ones too. Warcaster is really nice because you gain advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration. Because any of you know that when you get hit while you're doing a concentration spell, if you fail the throw, you get knocked out of it and the spell is dispelled, which can be bad because you could just throw something down, get hit, and then lose it. So Warcaster is probably your best option here, but you could go a little more tanky if you want to be in your bear form and stuff with toughness, or, you know, you could go Sentinel if you're going to be in melee with other units around, but I would highly recommend Warcaster. So that's going to do it for this video. It's already a little bit longer than I wanted to, but this is a very strong Druid build that will help you so much, whether your primary character is a Druid, or you're playing one of the Druid characters in the game, or you're just switching classes, whatever it may be. But any questions or comments you guys have about it, please let me know down below, and I'd be glad to help you out. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, later guys. Peace out. Have a good one.